Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Todd Myers, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm an in-house attorney and over our risk management program at Blackhawk Mining. And I'm sorry that I cannot be there today in person with you all because, frankly, this is the biggest day, in my opinion, that you will have at Blackhawk Mining this year. The transformation from pride safety to team safety is an important step in the direction of building a safety culture here at Blackhawk across the footprint of Blackhawk Mining that is going to make, I hope, all of us so proud of this company and who we are. You know, what is a culture? What is a safety culture, and why does it matter? You know, a culture is a set of beliefs and behaviors within an organization, or a group of people, whether it's a family, whether it's a community, or whether it's a company. It's how we act. It's what our core values are. It's what guides us to want to be the best and act how we act every single day. It's how we feel every single day, and it's how we conduct our business every single day. There's nothing more important in coal mining at all than safety. You know, coal mining absolutely creates hazards. We cannot deny that, and we cannot get away from that. So what we have to do is be extremely careful and extremely care for each other in a very, very effective manner. Now listen, I'm an attorney for this company. I have been involved in doing mine safety enforcement work for many, many years as a lawyer. And I have been blessed, as I've told many people, I have been blessed beyond belief to be a part of this company and to be more particularly a part of this industry. There is no group of folks, and I've worked across industries in my career, all kinds of industries. And I've never met a group that care more and have more pride in what they do than coal miners do. I just never have. I've never come across anything like it. And we all know that coal mining kind of gets into our soul. And we love it. I love being around coal mines. I love being around you coal miners. So much so that even as a lawyer, I got myself a black hat and trained it up and certified in mine rescue, because I love learning about what you all do, and I love being around the coal mines. But I also know that it's super important that we look after each other. You know, one of the things that I always like to throw out a couple little interesting tidbits about, because I don't think this is about coal mining particular. I think it's about how we act as human beings. There's a lot more psychology to safety than there is rules and rote things like standards and things of those natures. Those are super important, and we've got to have those kind of minimum standards, or team standards, as we're going to call them now. But what's important too is to remember that what can get us all, and that doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, it doesn't matter if you're a plumber, it doesn't matter if you're a coal miner or you're a teacher, what can get us is habitual complacency. We all default really to acting according to habit. You know, neuropsychologists will tell you that we, generally speaking, act about 80% out of habit. But think about that. About 80-ish% of what we do, our brain almost becomes on autopilot. And that becomes more and more as we get used to doing things like job activities or even things at home. The reason why they'll tell you that we do that is think about when you have to really think about everything that you're doing. If you had to take every time you took a step forward, you had to think about it. Every time you breathed, you had to think about it. Every time you did anything, you had to really sit and concentrate. Your brain would be so tired after a few minutes that it almost couldn't take it anymore. So our brains react this way by going on autopilot. We don't necessarily have to think about every step we take. And whether that's, me mowing my lawn or us pillaring a coal mine section, we can tend to get a little bit complacent. And the culture that we're trying to build more than anything is to get you all involved every day about thinking about safety in everything that you do. There's nothing that is more important. There is no ton of coal or pound of coal or anything like that that's worth someone getting themselves hurt for. It's not good business, but more than that, it leads to terrible outcomes at times. You've probably heard it said that we have had a really, really strong safety performance over the last few years, and our trends are coming down in what we call lagging indicators. So our NFDL rate, our non-fatal day lost, and those type of rates that we look at with workers' comp and with coal mine safety and that MSHA looks at, they are moving in a right direction. And frankly, that's because of you guys. That's because of all of you all that have worked so hard to bring the accidents down and worked hard to pay attention to what you're doing. But we have had some significant accidents, and every one of those accidents is heartbreaking. I can name to you every person. There's been 6 people since I joined the company that have lost their lives for Black Hawk mining while in the employment of Black Hawk mining. And I have cried with their families, and I'm a lawyer, right? When I'm involved in these situations, I'm representing the company, but I'm also a human, and I'm also a father, and I'm also a son, and I know how hard it is to deal with those situations. And what we want more than anything in the world is to eliminate all of those situations. And so when we go to work, what we want more than anything in the world is from this bottom up safety. We want you all to be involved in safety. We want you all to take care of each other and to look out for each other, to stop something that you believe is an at-risk behavior. If you see someone doing something at risk, we want you to have the courage to stand up and just say that you are doing something wrong, or, hey, watch yourself. We don't have to do this in an argumentative way. We don't have to do it in a way that brings shame or disrespect to somebody who's doing that job. I myself, when I go underground, I'm not there every single day. I may not recognize every single hazard. If I'm a red hat, I haven't been in every single position. I haven't seen everything that can go on. And so I may not recognize what I'm doing to be particularly at risk. And we need those that have more experience to step up and remind those that don't, or that maybe just get complacent, that they're doing something that is more of an at-risk behavior and can lead to some type of an injury. That is it is the holy grail of safety. If we can get you all and everyone underground to talk about near misses. We've all had near misses. I have had near misses. Think about when you drive a car, even forget coal mining. You drive a car, you're working in your yard, you're building something, you're working on cleaning your gun, you're working on fishing equipment or whatever. And we've had some type of just not paying attention. And we've almost hurt ourselves, but we didn't. And most of the time we think, shoo, thank goodness. I've been in my car and, unfortunately, I have had my phone out. Shouldn't do it. And we need to stop. And I try to stop myself and not do that. But we've had some close calls every now and again. And if we can get a culture, a system, a personality in this company where we believe that it's the right thing to do, to tell each other about that, then we can get to a place where these stop happening. You know why it's so important for these near misses is because they are what they call leading indicators. They are something that hasn't occurred, so nothing harmful occurred, but it almost did. So it shows the more leading indicators you have of at-risk behaviors, the more likely you're going to wind up in injuries, and that's been talked about today. That's just the true fact of how safety works in corporations, or even in personal lives. The more, if you have a child that takes more risks, or if you take more risks, you are going to more than likely eventually get hurt. Why? Because the law of probability, maybe some of you have heard of that, the law of probability, eventually you will get caught. I always like to talk about this. Back in the day, I used to do a lot of defense work for police officers and police forces. And like false arrest and excessive force and those types of behaviors and those types of claims. And I was working a false arrest claim, and the officers who were really good at DUI detection, talk about like they taught about DUI detection to their cadet officers and things like that. And he told me that he told me that the average person will get a DUI. They will have driven 80 times intoxicated before they actually get that DUI. And that's kind of the law of probability, right? The more you do it, the more you participate in that at-risk behavior, the more likely eventually you will get caught. And the more you put your hand on the drill steel and the more that you don't pay attention in a coal mine, you can eventually get yourself caught. And we have to hold all of ourselves accountable, just from the roof bolter all the way to the superintendent, all the way up to the VP. Everyone has to hold each other accountable. We have to care about each other. That's the way we make this to the point where we look around and Black Hawk Mining is the safest coal mine in the history of the coal industry. That's my dream. That's my dream. And I'll bet you when we turn around and get there, we'll also probably be one of the most productive. All of those production goals that we want will be there as well. So there's no question to me that safe production is absolutely the best policy, not only for business, which sure we want that, but more importantly, so that we don't have bad outcomes at Black Hawk Mining, which is really what we all really want. So just think about that a little bit. Think about each other. Care for each other. I want you guys to take, and girls, to take something out of this that you will bring back to your coal mines, and that we begin to create a culture, a way of life at Black Hawk. That is each person taking care of each other through team checks, through team huddles, and through the core safety team that will hold folks accountable in terms of and pushing this type of process. It's going to bear fruit. I know it, and we're all going to be better off. I appreciate, again, you all. I can't tell you how much respect that I have for the job that you all do. I always joke around without you. It's not really a joke, but without you, there is no me. I get to be at Black Hawk because of you. And so I want us to be the best that we can possibly be. I thank you. If you ever have any questions, if you ever need anything, please come see me. I know most of you don't like to see me coming because when you do, I'm either have some kind of an MSHA issue or maybe we've got a civil case that we're dealing with. But the truth of the matter is that I love coming to see you all and I love being a part of it. And I intend to make myself a part of this process as well. And to come around to some of these meetings and be there, just to see and be a part of it. And if there's things we can do better, tell us. Please get up with your safety team, get up with your VP, whoever it is, and tell us, because the only way this works is when we all buy in to this process and that we all believe in it. So while we're kind of training you all and putting this in motion, it's you all that will make this happen. So we thank you, we care about you, and we want to see Blackhawk be the best coal mining company that it can possibly be. So thanks. I hope to see you all soon for good reasons. I appreciate you and everything that you all have done to help me. Take care and really pay attention today and try to get something out of this. This is the most important thing that we will do at Blackhawk Mining. Thanks so much. Bye.